So today we're going to talk about Cricut Infusible Inks, which is the new line of products from Cricut, where the ink, you use a heat press and you're going to infuse it into whatever product you're trying to infuse your design onto. I don't have one of their heat presses. I have my iron. And so I wanted to try and see, can I do this with an iron or not? I'm here to tell you you can. It did work for me, but it's all going to depend on the heat of your iron. My iron's like 10 years old, so maybe it gets hotter than some other ones. I don't know. It's also going to take you longer to have your iron sit on your design. So I want to show you, these are the ceramic coasters that you can get from Michael's right now, the Cricut line. So I did all of these with my iron. You can see this one, there's a little bit of blemishes on it, but still they turned out, I thought, pretty darn good for using my iron and not knowing what was going to happen when I used the iron. So I decided to try another product that was not the part of the Cricut blanks and see if it worked. So I have these travertine tiles that they're from Home Depot. They're Jeffrey Court travertine tiles. They come in a package of 9, I believe. The only issue is that when you buy them in the package, you can't see. So like this one's got a lot of holes in it. So this one would not be ideal for a design that's going to take up the entire tile. So I did try it earlier with my infusible ink design. This was a barn, and I'm pretty happy with it. You can see on the corners of the barn it is a little faded, so the color did not get through there as well. So here's my piece, so you can see the color is still kind of there. So I am going to show you how I do it. I have not tried it on fabric yet, so I'm not sure if my iron will work for fabric for the infusible ink, but it does work on these tiles. So I have my design, and I cut out a design space and used the infusible ink. So you see it says Farmhouse Blessings. So we're gonna put this, I found a tile that did not have as many holes, and these are a little lighter, even though they're the same type of tile. You can see the variation because of the stone, just what the variation is of the tiles. I was also gonna show you, let me move these. When I did this design, I just took the piece that I had weeded out and put it over this. But you can see here it did make a ring because it wasn't perfectly covered. So if you have a surface that you want to still be nice, make sure you cover that before you, because it was just sitting like this on my ironing board, and so that is why there's the ring around here, because it was a square piece I cut. So let me get my travertine tile here. I'm going to line up where it's not as holy and see how this goes. Okay, so we're going to stick that on there. I'm going to take the paper that comes with the infusible ink in your rolls. We're going to set that over top. And then this has been sitting here. I have it on the maximum setting on my iron. That is the linen setting. And then we're going to place it over here, and I just slightly press down. Again, this may take, depending on the heat of your iron. I noticed with the barn, I had it sitting there for maybe a minute, and then I went to check it and nothing had permeated onto the stone. So I tried again, pressing more and kind of leaving it to give it time to press through, and then it eventually did. And again, this, it may, if I had the heat press, it would probably be a little more even, maybe a little more richer color since this still has a fair amount of color on it. But for me, I'm happy with this. I don't have the budget right now to buy myself a heat press, or the heat, I'm not even sure what Cricut calls it. I just don't have the budget right now to do that. You know, maybe I'll ask for it for Christmas or something. But right now this is all I have. And I've read a lot about the infusible inks, and people saying that, you know, iron's not gonna work, but I felt I needed to try it. Okay, so let's check. Not sure how long that's been, but let me see. Yeah, so there's not much. The top part has a little bit. I think my iron is actually more. So the farmhouse part has started to come through, but the blessings has not at all. So that's one of the drawbacks of an iron, is that your heat variances, and so you're gonna have to pick it up and check pretty frequently. So now it's starting to. Again, it's just with the iron, it's just gonna take you longer. Okay, let's check this. Oh, definitely starting to come through for the blessings part. A little bit more for the farmhouse part. Another warning with these travertine tiles, that your tile is going to become extremely hot because it is soaking up all this heat. So do not touch your tile until it has adequate time to cool off, or you're wearing some type of heat-proof gloves. Okay. Check this again. And this all is going to also depend on how rich you want your color too. As it's all come through, it's just lighter in some areas. So I'm going to put it more down towards the bottom. I also noticed when doing these two, it depended on some areas just took longer than others with the iron. Again, it's the heat consistency on the iron is just not as good as the Cricut Easy Press. I think that's what it's called, the Easy Press. Oh, that's much better. It's hard to sometimes the design will stick to your transfer paper, other times it won't, so I'm trying to check before I lift up everything. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take it off now because I really like what I'm seeing. All right. I should have had gloves with me here, but I don't. So there is, with my iron, using Cricut Infusible Ink to transfer onto a travertine tile. This tile is super hot right now, so I don't want to touch it. It did, when I took these off, you can definitely tell there are spots that are, like right up here is a little faded. It's not as rich of color as the rest of it, but I really like it. So again, in my opinion, you can use an iron to use the infusible inks from Cricut on coasters. I've not tried it on any other product. I hope to. And then I will report back and post another video of my findings.